This is Shigaraki, and he's undeniably the worst character in My Hero Ultra Rumble right now. But I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't always like this though. Today we're gonna go through a story of power creep, meta shifts, and developer negligence. And this is how Shigaraki Mhur became the worst character in My Hero Ultra Rumble. In the beta, Shigaraki was by far the strongest character. He would shit out high AoE damage, his beta would stop certain abilities from activating, and he had really good movement for the time. He did struggle against characters like Ida, but they were more of a minor inconvenience if anything. He didn't have a special action either, all he had is his melee attacks did more damage to buildings. But he still would unzip his pants, and bend somebody over for a chance at ruining another lobby. He had no equal in the beta at all, and he was easily the king of that entire last beta. Against Shigaraki will be third party from outside of most characters' range, and he's able to hit everyone in the fight at the same time due to his alpha lingering. If you got close to him, you had to deal with his giant AoE and a character that can dodge while attacking. Bro, late game, it would be about 6 Shigarakis. Literally, the entire floor was lava, and he was damn near unstoppable once he got leveled up. From what we covered so far, we can say his pros are his high lingering damage on his alpha, especially if all the hits connect, his great range, and he can hit multiple targets with one alpha, amazing at finishing off downed enemies, wide AoE damage coverage, he has okay ground mobility, and he gets better the smaller the ring gets. His cons is that his mobility is all grounded and it's relatively slow, he does suck on high ground, his gamma has trouble connecting, his special action is terrible, he can't hit airborne enemies, he is the weakest character in the game during the early game. He's a high value target early game due to his late game being too scary. And there's no way for him to fight any enemies that are airborne. Shigaraki fought like a crackhead with nothing to lose on USJ. He was so strong on that map because of his ability to take away almost all of the high ground with his special action and beta. And then, because most of the map of USJ is destructible, except fire and typhoon zone buildings, which he was relatively weak in, but his beta does climb to the top of a lot of the buildings, so he can still hurt them, and then he still makes fighting on the floor, especially in those alleyways, extremely dangerous. But UA Island exists. UA Island, on the other hand, called Shigaraki's mom a bitch and smashed her in front of him to assert dominance, bro. The first struggle is the whole map is indestructible. This means their special action becomes virtually useless. He can effectively take over a building for a few seconds, but that's about it. We'll cover why that doesn't save him later though. This map has tons of high ground, and yes, he was buffed to make his alpha climb buildings, but it's also lost some damage and the map terrain gets in the way. The main UA building is amazing to fight inside for Shigaraki, but he's allergic to doing damage to anyone on the second floor from the first floor. If you don't know, the UA building has this rim on it and sticks out enough so you can't climb up the building, which means Shigaraki's alpha doesn't climb up it. It will literally stop right before it would jump up to the second floor. But who cares anyway, because Shigaraki's a free character, so let's go ahead and fuck him over, right? Because nobody's gonna we're not making any money off of this character. Fuck him. Early in the game's life, the starting roster didn't give Shigaraki much trouble. His only bad matchups was really Shiozaki, Bakugo, and Ida. Once Rapid Bakugo was released though, the fall of Shigaraki really began. A character that can spend about 15 to 20 seconds in the air while attacking Shigaraki, it gave him a nearly impossible matchup, but the worst was yet to come. Overhaul took Shigaraki's title of the King of Ground Combat. Since he has a stun, he can hit people out of the air, he has a combo breaker and an instant heal for himself or his teammates, offered overall a lot more utility to his team, and had the ability to actually hit airborne characters. Hawks was an even higher mobility character that is the fastest, hardest hitting character in the game that almost never needs to touch the ground, and he has the highest jump in the game, and that tells you that Hawks beat Shigaraki like a stern father figure. And after that, they released another Rapid with Toga, more extremely high mobility, range, with good damage. And now we have Negure, another extremely air mobility character, that has an AoE ability bigger than Shigaraki's beta that launches her into the air. That was the final coffin for Shigaraki. The buff to his alpha to make it climb buildings barely matters because most of the characters now are hanging out in the air. His beta, being able to take over a building, doesn't really matter that much because if you have any sort of slight bit of height, you're not going to be able to get hit by the beta. And most characters can just stay in the air for long periods of time. Only one map is good for him, but the mobility in the game negates that one advantage he has. He has good mobility, but it's all grounded mobility. He can't even do anything if he's in the midair since his kit forces him to fall to the ground before any of his attacks would come out. There are ways to fix him, but they won't fix him because those fixes would literally just become a quirk skill set. The devs just make characters without thinking about the fact that this man exists. He's still a character in the game, but they just don't think about him or they just don't care that he's in the game or how he gets to play. He has evolved to be a shut-in. He literally just levels up and hides until late game. Even that to a degree won't even matter because people are going to be in the air so you can get all that levels and not be able to hit anybody to begin with. Like, I'm at the point where I don't want to play this game anymore. I've quit before, but this is just blatantly ridiculous. I just watched my second character, Kendo, get nerfed in damage output, but Hawks keeps his shield break combo. At this point, I really have no reason or motivation to play the game anymore. Some of you might say it's a skill issue. I'm not going to pretend that I'm the best Shigaraki player. I'm not even close. But that doesn't mean it's not a developer issue too. Let's give an example. Shigaraki literally cannot interact with Hawks unless he lands, and when he does, he can just jump or fly away. In Overwatch, Reinhardt has a terrible matchup against a character like Pharah. It's like a similar scenario. But he can at least threaten her with damage from his fire strikes, even though it'll probably never land. Pharah also can't spend much of the time in the air anymore, since she runs out of fuel faster. He can also negate most of her damage with his shield so the match can balance itself out. Honestly, the devs just don't care about balancing the game. I'm not here to tell you to stop playing the game. I know the game is extremely fun. Ironically enough, I was playing Hawks. I wasn't really having fun. I felt like I became the very thing I sought to destroy. Me and my friend tried the tuning system, if you know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't really care for it. I think the tuning system is stupid as hell. But I was playing Hawks, and I was like, I'm not really having fun. And it really, playing him made me realize how many characters are really in the air at once. Once negligence came out, there's like fucking 10 people in the air just floating around fighting, trying to fucking knock each other down. It is Dragon Ball Z at this point. But I understand the game is fun. I'm just letting you guys know what I see going on from a perspective of a character that really sees play anymore. But I hope you guys like this video. This will probably be one of my last Ultra Rumble related videos. I do have a video planned on anime games as a whole. Like and sub if you're interested in seeing that once it drops. But that being said, it's True Kingston, and I'm out.